Just imagine a war where the real battlefield isn't just tanks or jets or even drones or missiles. It's your economy, your future, your hope. Today, we are ripping open the true cost of the recent India Pakistan war. But before we do that, let me share with you the real winner of this conflict. To your surprise, the winner wasn't India or Pakistan, it was China. This isn't just about conflict, it's about resilience, strategy, and a global wake up call. Please join me today as we unpack the numbers, the surprises, and what you can do to shape a better tomorrow. Let's dive in. Brothers and sisters, wars aren't bought only on the ground, they are waged in banks, stock markets, and homes, of course. As a journalist who writes and talks about economic issues in the Muslim world and beyond, I crunched the numbers to reveal the staggering price of this 4 day India Pakistan clash. To your surprise, what happened is that India spent 105 105 $104 million on ammunition alone. Pakistan, on the other hand, they just spent $32 million. The Wagah Atari border shut down, of course, as you all know, erasing $467 million in trade. $132 million loss was for Pakistan, over $300 million for India. As far as the airspace is concerned, airspace closures cost Pakistan about $8 million and India $32 million. Infrastructure damage in Pakistan, including the Usman Shahid Mosque near Bahawalpur, hit $14 million. The total cost, a mind blowing $3.7 billion for this conflict, for this 4 day conflict alone. That is $925 million per day. And out of this $925 billion, India burned $800 million on a daily basis, while Pakistan spent a lean $50 to $60 million every day. So this was a war of strategy, not just firepower. Now, I would like to draw your attention to another important issue. Let's break down the arsenal. A Rafale jet, as some of you might know, costs about $250 million. On the other hand, J-10C, used by Pakistan, of course, is a Chinese warplane, is about one third of the cost of Rafale. India's Scalp missile, how much does it cost? $200,000 each. On the other hand, Pakistan's PL-15 missile, how much it costs? Just teeny tiny $1 million as a comparison. Material missiles, $2 million each. Harop drones from Israel, as you might expect, range from evangelical million to $1 million. India's hammer bombs, $600,000 each. The Sudarshan Chakra or S-400 system, which was a big loss for the Indian forces, have a $1.2 billion deployment cost alone, with a single battery at $1 billion. So these aren't just weapons, they are economic sinkholes for both India and for Pakistan. But, Pakistan showed the world how to fight smart with less. And Pakistan didn't just fight, they owned it using tech like the J-10C and JF-17 Thunder, some built in 2005 and 2007. They matched India's cutting edge arsenal. Pakistan is the only foreign country besides China using J-10C for the time being. The JF-17's initial version hit in 2007, with its latest in 2022, just a couple of years ago. The J-10C evolved from 2005's Block 1 to Block 3, with advanced radars and PL-15 integration by 2022. This is a decade-old technology holding its own against Rafales. It's like a street fighter, surprisingly. It's like a street fighter taking on a heavyweight champion and landing every punch on its face. But one thing I would like to mention, Pakistan's real weapon isn't just the arsenals or the economic cost or the dollars which this country has spent on this recent conflict. Their spirit is the main weapon, it's a real weapon. Social media lit up with memes. Pakistanis were selling Rafale parts on OLX. They downed 70 to 80 of India's 400 to 500 drones and turned wreckage into a marketplace. One post read surprisingly, and of course funny, a very funny post. Our army didn't spare us, so why would they spare you? Another jabbed, Karachi's chaos. Credit to our mayor, not India. A fake news post about Karachi's destruction by India was flipped into a viral quip. This is PPP's doing, not India's. Pakistan fought with humor, heart, and unbreakable resolve. This is what resilience looks like. Now, the plot twist. China actually won this war. While India and Pakistan clashed with each other, of course, there's no doubt about it. The whole world knows this. But China's defense giant, AVIC, maker of Pakistan's jets, saw its market cap soar from $29 billion to to $40 billion in one single day. So it means there was a difference of they gained $11 billion in one single day without doing anything specific. On the other hand, you'll be surprised to know France Dassault behind India's Rafale lost $1.6 billion in the beginning. And of course, their losses continues as of today. Its shares dropped 6%. China's technology, battle tested in Pakistan's hands, is now a global powerhouse. They're eyeing deals with Egypt, Iraq, Libya, Syria, UAE, and of course Saudi Arabia as well, who already bought China's DeepSeek tech via Saudi Aramco. So this war was China's audition to dominate the defense market globally, not just in Asia, but globally. So, let's put this in context. The 1971 India-Pakistan war cost $4.5 billion. So it means $345 million a day for 13 days. On the other hand, Kargil's 60-day war cost $380 million or $6.5 million every single day. Israel's Gaza offensive, $110 million a day. Russia-Ukraine's peak days, $900 billion every single day. So wars are economic vampires. But Pakistan pulled off the cheapest war in history, spending just 10% of India's budget. How it became possible? Affordable tech, strategic restraint, and of course, sheer ingenuity. The stock market, with only 500 companies and a $43 billion cap, took a $2 billion hit during those 2 days. And India's $5.1 trillion market lost $83 billion in one single day. So yet, Pakistan's PSX rebounded to 10,000 points the next day, after ceasefire. This is doing more with less. Now, the thing we have to think about is that wars destroy, but they also reveal something very specific about countries, which, you know, in this case, for example, Pakistan showed what is possible with strategy, grit, and never say die spirit. China turned chaos into a global stage. But the real lesson, peace is cheaper than ever. Peace is cheaper than war. That $3.7 billion could have been built 50,000 schools, 1,000 hospitals, or powered millions of people with clean energy in both these countries. So, every missile fired during this war is a future stolen. So, what can you do about this? Please share this story, start a conversation about peace over destruction, support initiatives that prioritize progress. Pakistan's resilience is proof we can overcome with less. Let's build a world where data drives hope, not havoc. This is our moment to rewrite the story of conflict, Pakistan's defiance, China's rise, and the cost of war. Now it's a call to action, very serious action. Choose peace, build bridges, innovate for tomorrow. I believe we can create a future where wars are history and progress is our legacy. Please join me. Let's make it happen. Let's make it real. Thank you so much. And I hope to be able to speak with you very soon again.